Hey y'all, good morning. This is Tonetta. I hope everybody's doing well. I know I haven't been on here in a month of Sundays, I'm sure. But I'm washing dishes right now, as you can see me washing. But I want to come on, of course, and just do this quick. Well, it may not be quick because I can't just take my hand off and put it back on the phone and cut my phone off. But whenever I get done with this video, I'll definitely, of course, what I was about to say, I don't know. But I'll be done with this video soon. But I just want to bring out this video this morning just to talk about our relationship with money. And, of course, I'm pretty sure none of you know, of course, my credit score and that kind of stuff, which I will talk to you about that this morning. But I know that back in the day when I was a kid, younger, that kind of thing, people used to always talk about credit. Well, not always, but talk about something called credit. And I never knew exactly what people were talking about because I'm like a kid. I'm like, okay, who cares? That doesn't even apply to me. Why do I have to know about it? That kind of thing. And it's something that's not actually taught, of course, as we know, in school. Yes, we'll have economics. I've taken economics in college and stuff like that. And of course, we may hear about, of course, somewhat about credit, just mentioning what credit was, but it was really quick. I guess I put it that way. And we never really received that financial literacy education that we all need to, of course, live and to thrive and to survive. And of course, it wasn't until I was older, of course, out on my own. Well, actually, no, I wasn't. It was back when I was in my teens. I would say when I first started teens, actually early teens, I guess I put it that way. When I first started learning more about how money, of course, is used to, of course, pay the bills and do all those kind of things. I mean, I kind of knew that before. I just had never seen it live and in person until I got a little bit older. And I'm sure many of you can relate to that as well. But like I said, I know as far as credit and stuff like that, of course, like I said, we're people making money and that kind of thing. And not really knowing what the credit is about, not really knowing how to, of course, fix their credit, that kind of thing altogether. And like I said, with me, growing up, like I said, that was something that was rarely even talked about. Yes, I heard it, like I said before, I heard about people talking about credit and, at times, just talking about credit because they were trying to get a house or trying to get a car and the credit score was too low or they had to pay a high interest rate and all those kind of things. And I was sitting up here like, what the heck are they talking about? Because I never knew, like I said, I was a kid. So I didn't really know what they were talking about. I know now, I can say that now. But like I said, we're moving on a little bit farther than that. Like I said, I used to teach some financial literacy back at the homeless shelter or the homeless program, the transitional housing program that I used to work at. And like I said, it wasn't until then that I began to understand how important that, of course, credit was, our money was, I know some folks say your money, what would they say? You work for your money doesn't, how does it go? I forgot. It's something about you work for your money or you don't work for your money works for you or something like that. Whatever the little slogan was that people say. I'm sure some of you all may heard about it or heard it before. And if you have, definitely put it down below because I forgot what it was. But like I said, in my mind, I'm just like, okay, everybody works for money no matter what you do for your money. No matter if you're working a job, no matter if you have a business, no matter if that business is you're having to run ads or you're the top person, but you still have to go out and do some speaking engagements, whatever you're doing. Everybody still has to work for money. But the main thing is that we have to learn how our money works for us. Like I said, growing up, I know that a lot of times I used to hear about people in the neighborhood, different things like that. People that I knew, of course, was putting their kids' name on like the electric bills and on the water bills because they, of course, had ran up the bill and in their own adult name, and they could no longer, of course, get the service in their name, whether it was the sewer or the cable, different things like that. Like I said, that's definitely the environment that like I said, that I was around, that I came from, and that kind of thing. And I'm just sitting up here like, what in the world is going on? Like I said, I never understood what's the real cause and what was the case. And getting older, teaching those financial literacy classes to the young ladies and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, all they had to do was just pay the bill. And now I know that when you're not paying bills, you're late, of course, your stuff is getting cut off or your car being repossessed, because I've seen that before as well. Then now I know that's because, of course, like I said, you're not having your money work for you. Of course, a lot of times we want to get out here and keep up with the Joneses and buy all these things without taking care of our home first. I can't say everybody, but I know there are some people that I've dealt with like that, still as adults as well. And like I said, at some point we have to learn to realize that, of course, yes, we can bring in the money, we can have a job, we can do all these things, but at some point we have to realize that all those things that we're doing, we have to take responsibility of our own finances, our own money working for us and those kind of things. Like I said, as far as all the kids' names that's names being put on bills, put on electric bills and stuff like that. I don't know if those parents realized or not, but all that stuff went on those kids' credit report once those bills got cut off. But of course, once you have a habit with, of course, putting the bill in somebody else's name just to have some electricity, or putting the cable bill in somebody else's name just to have a TV and stuff like that, eventually those folks have to grow up. And those folks have to, of course, get a life of their own. And those folks, of course, have to navigate around what you've done to their credit, I guess to put it that way. And like I said, working with the young ladies at the housing program, a lot of them went through that same thing as well. They, of course, trying to get apartments and stuff. They're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old now. And then they have all this stuff in their name as far as old bills from like electric bills when they were like 2-3 years old and all this kind of stuff. Like I said, I don't know if anybody else has dealt with any of that. If you have, or heard anybody that has dealt with that, if so, put that down in the comments below, because I'm sure I'm not the only person who has dealt with something like that, or who has known. Because I haven't dealt with it myself, because I didn't have that in my, I guess, with my credit. But if you know somebody or work with people that have had those kind of situations, like I said, definitely talk about it below and how you help them, I guess, to put it that way. If you are a helper, or if you're one that was just support, or however the case may have went. But like I said, at some point, I don't know if those parents realized, but like I said, at some point, those kids had to grow up, and those kids had to have a household and a life of their own at some point. And like I said, I don't know, a lot of them may not have understood that it was going to affect their credit, and thought they was going to come off their credit when they turned 21 or whatever it was. I think it's actually 7 years that it comes off the credit. But we still had young ladies that had bills in their names, thousands of dollars, y'all. Bills like gas, electric, not cars, but cable and stuff like that in their name. And like I said, they were just trying to get off and get their life started. So like I said, to those parents out there who may see this, who may have known somebody who have done this, or who may be doing this to their child, I guess I put it that way, make sure that y'all do not do that, please. Because at some point, like I said, these kids have to grow up and they have to have a life of their own. But let me get to why I did want to say all that, to say that as far as credit and things like that, fixing your credit and things like that. Like I said, when those kind of things do happen, just keep in mind that you have all kind of choices. Like I used to talk to our young ladies about, that you have all kind of choices as far as disputing anything that's on your credit. So keep that in mind, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Like I said, disputing anything that's on your credit. And I know for our young ladies, when it came to their parents, the parents who had used their credit and that kind of thing and messed it up, like I said, sometimes, well, you can always, of course, put a fraud case with the credit bureaus. But a lot of them did not want to do that, of course, because it was their parents or family or whoever did it to them. But like I always told them, of course, at some point you have to realize that in order for you to move ahead properly, you have to have your stuff taken care of. I guess I put it that way, because nobody's going to fix your credit but you. And like I said, that was the whole basis of this video. So I want to let you all know, like I said, we're telling them that as well. I had to get to a point where I had to realize that, of course, my credit, if I wanted to, of course, at some point get a car or get a house or get whatever it was, all the time, I can't say all the time. It just depends on what kind of house you're buying, what kind of car you're buying. But if you're buying it new, or you're getting a mortgage, that kind of thing, or you're getting a car note, that kind of thing, you definitely have to make sure that your credit, of course, is in order. We know that, of course, some people, of course, cannot receive different items, whether it's a house they're trying to get or the loan for the house. I guess I put it that way, because it's not the house itself, it's the loan that you're trying to apply for to, of course, afford the house, to pay it off in 30 years or 20 years or how many other years it's going to be. Like I said, some folks are, of course, denied because their credit scores are too low. My credit score started off, I have it all written down right here, July 2019, it was a 482. Now, I wasn't the kind of person that had all this stuff on my credit, of course, student loans, as most of us or all of us may have. And then, of course, I had no credit, and I had no idea that when you have no credit, your credit score is actually low. I didn't know that. I did have a credit card, of course, back in the day, back in college. They helped me afford some of the things that, like my first, of course, like furniture and computer and things like that I needed for school and books and stuff like that. But I'm just like, okay, when you don't have any credit, you have a low credit score. I had no idea. And I'm still, of course, learning about credit and that kind of thing as well, and how it would apply to me and other people that I guess that may need the information and the education as well. But like I said, I started, mine was a 482, y'all, back in July 2019. So that was about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago actually. And now as of yesterday, it's a 627. Like I said, I have been learning about credit, learning what I can do to get my credit score to, of course, improve, to increase, and that kind of thing. And no, I did not work with the credit counselor at all. Being a social worker, I kind of knew was some of the things. I, of course, knew that you had to, of course, pay your past bills or pay this or pay that or open up other lines of credit. My main thing was that I was refusing to open up other lines of credit. I didn't want to, of course, to me, it's just going into debt just to have credit. And that's really what it is. And like I said, I had to change my mindset as far as what credit was and how I was going to look at that. Because yes, at some point I plan on getting something brand new. I guess I'd say that. But like I said, I definitely have to realize that my credit score works for me, I guess, in that way. To, of course, keep my the interest low on whatever I'm trying to get. I guess I put it that way. So you want to have high interest and stuff like that. But like I said, that was definitely something that I'm, like I said, still learning and had to learn. And like I said, if you're one that has, because like I said, I had no credit besides that one line, which was my student loans. And they were letting me know that, of course, I needed more lines of credit. I saw a commercial on, I don't know, somewhere. It was talking about the Experian Boost. That's when it was popular back in, I think it's still kind of popular now. But back in 2019, because that's when I first heard about it. Experian Boost, when they took your information from your actual utility bills, because I did sign up for that as well, where they will take your actual information from your actual utility bills and stuff like that, as long as you're paying them with the checking account. And they'll, of course, increase your credit score, especially if it's being paid on time and stuff like that. So for those out there who haven't, of course, signed up for Experian Boost, and if that's something that you want to, of course, increase your credit, boost your credit up with, definitely make sure that you're looking at that. Like I said, there was something that I looked into. I saw a commercial or heard a commercial on the radio. I don't know which one, but one of them. And like I said, I definitely took advantage of that, because I was, of course, paying all my bills, most of them, of course, through my checking account, automatic come out, that kind of thing. So I'm like, okay, I can definitely use that to my advantage, and that's exactly what I did. And like I said, immediately, within like maybe a few weeks, my credit score boost. I didn't write the numbers down. I should have. It went to over 500. I can tell you that. About 520, 530 or something like that. It didn't boost it up like hundreds of points, that kind of thing at all. But like I said, it definitely did boost it up a little bit, so it can at least be over 500. I guess I put it that way. Even though according to the credit bureaus or whoever you want to say, that's still kind of a low score. I guess I'd say that. But like I said, I definitely had to realize and change my mindset around my money and my credit, that kind of thing, to get it to where it now, like I said, is at a 627 as of yesterday. And I'm still, of course, working on things. I did have a, I'm not sure how I have it, an AT&T bill for some reason. But I'm like, that's okay. But I went and got the money order for that yesterday, so I can go ahead and send that on off. Because I was told that when you're paying back to collection agencies and stuff like that, you don't use your actual checking account. So I had to go and get a money order yesterday. I think it was for like $127. So I can go ahead and get that thing off of my credit. It's only been on maybe like a year. Now, like I said, I have no idea how I even owed that, but whatever. I guess a year and a half when I moved from, actually a year, because this was like this time last year when I moved from my other apartment actually. So like I said, I had that on there, but I'm like, okay, that's strange, but who cares? But like I said, now I'm realizing that I have to make sure that I'm getting my things in order. And like I said, that's something that I'm telling you all this morning as well, especially if you're one out there trying to figure out how to, of course, boost up your credit score, what to do, that kind of thing. Once you, of course, go on Credit Karma, because I use Credit Karma. It's actually on my cell phone every single day, and it always gives you like updates and that kind of thing about what's going on with your credit, how it's looking, a snapshot, and you can, of course, access all your credit reports on there as well. And I do that. I can't say every day, but I did yesterday, and I saw my credit score, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome, because it's almost, it's like actually over no, it's not 200 points. It's about 150, 60 points actually. That is actually over now. I guess, well, it's 160 points more than it was back a year and a half, 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And like I said, that was something that I was proud of myself about yesterday. That's why I wanted to come over here and talk to y'all about that in this video. Like I said, I did not use a credit counselor at all. I did it myself. I'm still working on it, I guess I put it that way. So I can pay this one bill, and I have a lab bill, I think, because my insurance didn't cover it. I didn't realize that, but that's okay. I guess it was the time I was moving to. I didn't get these bills, so I'm like, what is going on? But like I said, that's okay. They're getting done now. But like I said, definitely you have to realize that once you have all these things, If you wanted to fix your credit, you don't need a credit counselor unless you want one. I know there's, of course, some people that have a lot more debt than I do and that kind of thing. And, of course, you may need a credit counselor. Like I said, I don't really have much debt. It's just my student loans. Besides those 2 bills that I owe, I guess I put it that way. And like I said, one of them is going off today, being sent off this morning, and I'll show y'all that money order shortly. But like I said, definitely you have to make sure that if you do have a lot of debt and you do have a lot of things, because I know everybody has a different situation. So if you do have a lot of things going on, you may need a credit counselor. But like I said, for me, I didn't need that credit counselor. I did those things on my own. And another thing that you all can take advantage of, because I want to make sure I'm providing y'all value as well. Like I said, you can get the Experian Boost. That's one. Of course, that will, of course, boost your credit up as long as you keep using and start using your checking account to pay for your utility bills and cable bill and stuff like that. I don't think the cell phone, I don't think they count for that. But your utility bills and stuff like that, with your with your checking account, that will definitely, if you're using Experian Boost, that will definitely, like I said, boost your credit scores up, y'all. Then another thing, besides, of course, making sure that you're paying off any old debt that you may have, and of course, they with Credit Karma, you see that information on there talking about who you, I guess, like the amount of the bill that you owe, and of course what the name of the company is. It doesn't give you the address or that kind of thing, but I had to look it up and found the address. And actually, when I was doing that same day, I got a letter in the mail saying what I owed from them. So I'm like, okay, now I have it. So I just went ahead and got the money order. That was maybe like a week ago probably. I just now made it over to Snooks to go ahead and get the money order yesterday, but so I could get it mailed off today. But let's keep in mind that any of those bills on there that you see with your name on it, that's on your Credit Karma, on your credit report, you can always, like I said, look up the companies, find the companies and that kind of thing, unless you have mail at home, to go ahead and get those paid. And if for any reason you don't have the full amount, you can always call and ask them if you can do like a payment plan. Or I know folks don't want to do that, because I know folks, I don't want to call no credit company and this kind of thing. But if you're looking to have something in your name, something that's, of course, you can pass down if you want, I guess a house or a car or that kind of thing, you do, and you're trying to, of course, apply for different lines of credit, different loans. So, of course, if you want to open up a business or whatever it is, all those kind of, even though you can have business credit, but let's keep in mind it starts off with your regular credit first, because you're not going to have business. Well, you take that back. In some aspects, you will have business credit when you first start off, but just keep in mind that it's still working off your own credit that you have. I guess I put it that way. In order for you to apply for a loan to start a business, if you're looking to buy real estate, all those kind of things, not just houses, but if you're looking to have your own real estate company, to, of course, acquire houses, to buy family apartment buildings or that kind of things. I'm getting into that as well. Like I said, you definitely have to improve your credit, especially if you wanted to, of course, borrow money from these people. Especially if you wanted to borrow money from these people to, of course, like I said, to purchase all their property and stuff like that with, unless you're doing wholesaling or something like that. Otherwise, like it's, oh shit, Lord, sorry y'all. Otherwise, you definitely would have to apply for some credit. And like I said, I know a lot, back in the day, I used to hear about people, oh, these credit companies and this and that, and oh, they came and took my car and all these things, but I don't think people realize, some may have realized that it will affect your credit, I guess I put it that way, but, and affect you from getting other things, or give you a higher interest rate, I guess I put it that way. But like I said, if that's you, and you need some help with your credit, that kind of thing, just keep these things in mind. Like I said, back in the day was back in the day. You can always take your time now and go ahead and fix things if you're looking to buy more things in your life, or have more things in your life, or open up any other lines of credit. You applying for credit cards and stuff like that. Credit cards, like I said, loans. It's going to be well, not even the credit cards like the Southwest and stuff like that, because they have their own credit cards at the airline companies, and if your credit score is not high enough, they are not going to approve you for a credit card. So like I said, if there's something that you want in your life, you have to understand those things. And of course, going to get cars, which is fine, you can actually get a car with any kind of credit, but they'll let you know that if you have a lower credit score, I think it's under 550 or 6, I forgot how that was, that you of course would be paying a higher rate, I guess, interest rate, meaning that you'll be paying a whole lot more for the car, I'm sure probably thousands more, I'm sure probably a few thousand more. So just keep that in mind, y'all, when you're talking about credit scores and stuff like that. I know for years I rejected the whole idea of credit, because I thought it was stupid, which is still kind of stupid to me anyway. Because to me, just because you have a good credit score does not mean that you're going to pay all your bills and that kind of thing anyway. But like I said, definitely keep that in mind, y'all. Like I said, definitely use Experian Boost. Experian Boost is free for you to use. There is no charge for Experian Boost. Just keep that in mind. Like I said, there's making sure that you're paying your bills off that you have to, of course, increase your credit score. And I was told yesterday, once I send this this money order in to pay this bill that was on my credit, that was a year old on my credit. Once I send that in, I have to wait at least 3 months because the credit bureaus report at least once every 3 months. So that I can, of course, make sure that they're taking that off my credit. And if they don't take it off, of course, you can always dispute it with the credit bureaus, and they'll ask to let them know that you paid it in full. You may have to submit, of course, the copy of the money order or whatever, and I will make sure I have that as well. But like I said, let's keep that in mind. In order for them to get off your credit, you have to, of course, dispute that, because sometimes they may forget to take it off your credit or don't even care because it's paid for. But like I said, you have to do the work for that part. Another thing, I'm with the St. Louis Community Credit Union here in St. Louis, and they have. I did apply for a loan. It's like a personal loan type deal. It is actually a credit builder loan. I guess I put it that way. They're taking the money out your account every single month. I think mine is on like the 15th of the month or something like that, and $50 a month. So if you're here in St. Louis, and if you're in other cities, your bank or your credit union may have this kind of program as well. But it's a program to, of course, build your credit. And like I said, this is my second year doing that actually. So I did that the first year, that was in 2019 as well. And I just signed up for it again about a month or so ago again, because it's every single year. So definitely, with that particular credit, with that particular loan, like I said, they're taking. You can choose your amount, but the lowest amount that you can choose is $50 a month. But when you're doing that, of course, like I said, you don't have to send the actual payment into the credit union. They'll take that money out of your account, I guess from your checking account every month on whatever day you all set to, of course, put into your savings. And you cannot touch that money at all. But of course, at the end of your year, once you're done, you can, of course, you'll have $600 in your savings that you can, of course, go back in, touch, and do whatever you want to do with. But like I said, this is my second year doing that, and I just been saving the monies in my account. I don't really care about touching it. But like I said, some folks may have a goal to go get a car, or put that down in a car, or I don't know, do something with it. But like I said, definitely just keep in mind that by me doing that, setting up that credit rebuilder loan at the credit union, that did, of course, boost my credit score as well. I'm trying to see what else. Like I said, that's a free program that anybody can do, as long as you're getting money to, of course, pay that loan amount every single month that goes into your checking account. Anybody can go ahead and do that. I'm trying to see what else I did. I guess that was it, y'all. And like I said, I went from a 482 back in 2019, that summer, to now, as of yesterday, at 627. And like I said, I had to realize that, of course, no matter how much I rejected the idea that this is stupid, you shouldn't have any credit, and why these folks do this and that kind of thing, I was the one that had no credit except for my student loan. That was all I had. And according to the credit bureaus, I had no credit. And every time I tried to apply for something, I'm like, okay, why am I getting denied? But I had no credit. And I didn't realize that by having no credit, it's the same thing as having bad credit. I guess I put it that way. So like I said, I had to jump on the bandwagon, and like I said, change my mindset and change my perspective about how I thought about my money and how I thought about credit. Because I know at some point, yes, I'm looking to get some new things, apply for different loans to get property and stuff like that. So I definitely have to, of course, start building on these things. And like I said, that was my main motivation back in 2019 when I was looking at my credit score, trying to figure out how can I boost it up, how can I get to at least over 700, which it will be by the end of this year. It should be. I'm pretty sure that. But like I said, I definitely had to think about those things. Definitely, I wanted to get all these things. And what Terry say? Hey, Terry, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Terry said he's a car salesman, so I know all of that. Good. And if anybody have any questions, definitely hit him up. Definitely, yes, because I know Terry. I don't think he's in St. Louis. I think he's somewhere in Missouri. So he like you said, he's a car salesman. So if you are looking to get a car, that kind of thing, and need some, of course, somebody to talk to you more about credit and how it affects your credit, if it's bad and that kind of thing, make sure that you talk to Terry. I don't know if he's still on here or not. But definitely, I'm sure reach out to him probably through Messenger or on this post if you like. That kind of thing is fine as well. But like I said, he definitely knows, and I know that credit is definitely something that is going to be useful in your life. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I know working with the ladies in the shelter, working with the ladies in the transitional housing program, and all the clients I've had over these 20 plus years, a lot of them had their credit as kids messed up because of their parents putting utility bills in their name, because of their parents putting gas bills in their names, electric bills, water bills, cable bills, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if they did not understand back then that they're messing up their child's credit. Some of them, I'm sure, didn't care. But like I said, they were definitely messing up their child's credit back then. And like I said, that's something that I hope that nobody on this video is doing. I guess I put it that way. And if you are, please stop. And if you're a child of somebody, like I tried to tell my young ladies back then, when I was trying to, of course, counsel them about the IDA program, and it was an individualized savings program through United Way. And I was trying to, I guess, talk to them about it and that kind of thing as well. I know some of them were scared to, of course, put fraud charges on their parent. But at some point, people, I mean, them... In my eyes, people have to learn a lesson at some point. You can't just go on with your... I mean, those ladies were stopped from even trying to get apartments. They couldn't even get the apartment because their credit was so messed up with all these bills and all this stuff going on that their parents put on their credit. Like I said, at some point, you have to realize that if that has happened to you, if I'm talking to you, you have to make sure that you're getting those things taken care of. Yes, it's going to be scary because you may have to put fraud charges against someone. I don't know. But like I said, if you're wanting to live a life where you have, of course, better credit, you can, of course, apply for your house, apply for a car, even get apartments and not having to have a co-signer and do all these things. Like I said, with those young ladies I work with, there was a lot of their stories, I guess I put it that way. I'm just here to tell you, like I said, my success with having my credit score go up like 150, 160 points in the past year and a half. Like I said, that was something I've been definitely working towards, and you can work towards it as well. Like I said, with me and my mindset, how much I was rejecting credit, it was stupid and this kind of thing. I was in a hole where I didn't have any credit. Like I said, mine wasn't that it was bad because my student loan was, of course, up to date and that kind of thing, but I just didn't have any credit, any lines of credit, I guess I put it that way. And like I said, that's why I went to the credit union to apply for that credit builder loan. And like I said, some of the cities that you all are in, they may have that. I don't know. I'm in St. Louis with the St. Louis Community Credit Union. They have it. I'm going to assume that other places may have it as well. And like I said, it's free for anybody to sign up. So make sure that y'all are looking into that, especially if you're looking to build your credit, get your credit score back up and that kind of thing. And keep in mind that if you're looking at your, keep in mind also that I think most of you all may know already, but every year you get a free credit report. Just keep that in mind. The annualcreditreport.com, you can always get your free credit report to see what's on there, see what you have to do. But like I said, I have the Credit Karma app on my phone, and that's free for you to sign up as well. And it's the same similar thing as your credit report, actually, y'all. So that way, you do have your credit report on your phone every single day, y'all. So you wouldn't have to worry about trying to do this, do that, figure out, get your credit report, wait till every January just to figure out how much you owe, that kind of thing. Like I said, with Credit Karma, it's a free app. I have that on my phone, and it's definitely something that you can take advantage of. It will tell, it has all the 3 credit bureaus on there. Then you know, of course, if you owe anything, who you owe it to, how much it is, and that kind of thing. And it'll also give you suggestions about, of course, the credit card, I guess, to open up more lines of credit so that you can have positive lines of credit. I did have to apply for a credit card. I forgot the name of it, Capital One. My first credit card since I was back in college, y'all. That's been over 20 years ago. And I was refusing to, because I had never wanted another credit card or anything like that. Because I figured, why should I have to go into debt just to build my damn credit score? That's the only thing that was stuck in my head and just kept bothering me. And that's the reason why I never had one until a few months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, I guess. Now I have one, so I'm trying to buy one item a month on my credit card, and then of course paying it off to make sure that I'm, of course, extending my line of credit with them as well, but also boosting my credit score. Like I said, it's definitely been boosting a lot. Like I said, that's what's been happening over like the last year and a half, almost 2 years now. So like I said, Credit Karma will definitely give you those suggestions on different things that you can do, how you can open up other lines of credit and stuff like that. So like I said, definitely keep that in mind if you're looking to, of course, increase your credit score, because you're wanting to, of course, apply for a loan to buy property, a house, or a multi-family building, or I guess if you're like into like real estate and that kind of thing, or if you're looking to, of course, get a car and that kind of thing as well, a brand new car, just a car with a car note. Like I said, just keep in mind you do have to, of course, you can get I'm sure with some of those items, But like I said, keep in mind, at the car companies, I'm sure Terry can tell you that as well. You have to have a certain credit score in order to get some of those cars, I'm sure. Because I know I went to some lately and that kind of thing, and I was like, okay, I have to have what kind of credit score? I think it's over 500 or 550, I want to say, something like that. But you still have to pay more interest, meaning that you're paying a higher interest rate, meaning that you're going to pay more just to have that car. Say if the car was $10,000 and somebody with perfect credit, that's all they had to pay. But somebody with bad credit, mine started off at $482. I may have had to pay $12,000 or $13,000 for that car, for that same vehicle, because my credit wasn't good. So like I said, you definitely have to start working on those things if that's something that you want. I'm of course I'm into real estate, trying to of course buy buildings and that kind of thing. So I have to, and I know I'm not going to have any money just to go buy all this stuff unless I have investors. I'm looking for that as well. So if you know a real estate investor, send them my way. But like I said, definitely I have to apply for some type of loan to, of course, fix up these places, a construction loan and different things like that at some point, I'm sure that. So like I said, that's where all these things come into play for me. The way I looked at it back a few years ago, I'm trying to change my lifestyle and trying to, of course, change the things I was doing. The number one thing was, of course, working for somebody else. I want to go in business for myself full time, I guess I put it that way. Not just having a hobby on the side or a small business, that kind of thing. I need to have my own big business. So the only way I can do that, like I said, as far as going into real estate, and I'm doing relationship coaching and that kind of thing now as well. Like I said, I knew that I was going to have to go do all these things. So like I said, I started fixing my credit, and Deanna said her credit is, well, you can always work on Deanna. I definitely gave some good tips to her in this video, and if you want to reach out to me, you can definitely reach out to me. I can definitely give you some of the stuff that I did, but definitely if you getting your credit score, going on to Credit Karma, just finding out what you owe, who you need to pay it to, especially if you have the money to go ahead and pay some of the small things off, definitely go ahead and start doing that. Like I said, that's definitely what I did. And I was going to show y'all the money order. I ain't filled it out yet, y'all, because I have to fill it out this morning. But like I said, this was my AT&T bill that I owed when I moved last January. Actually, I didn't even realize, I don't know, I didn't even think I even had a bill because I had them for so long. I thought it was paid up, but that's my fault. That's okay. But like I said, definitely I'm getting it paid off. This is the money order here. I'm definitely getting that paid off. And like I said, they'll be sent off today, actually. So I can go ahead and, after about 3 months, I was told to, of course, make sure that it's off my credit, that kind of thing. And then my credit score will increase some more. I think it was about like 35 points is what it said on Credit Karma. So like I said, I'll definitely have that as well. But definitely start paying off the small things first. Like I said, that's what I'm doing. The only other thing I have is like a lab bill. I think it's like 50-something dollars. $50 or $100. I mean, it's really not that much, actually. And there's nothing else really on my credit but my student loans, but the credit card is not on my, well, I guess it's on my credit. I mean, it's paid in full every month. I don't know how that goes with the credit cards. Like I said, I'm still learning as well. So like I said, if anybody else out there knows, just make sure that you're putting that down below, just to make sure I'm giving the right information. I'm just giving my story and my experiences and that kind of thing as well. But like I said, that's definitely how mine is going. There's nothing on my credit. Really, it's just that, well, these few bills that I have, like less than $200 for all the bills that I have to pay. It wasn't, I mean, I just didn't have any credit. It was my issue, Deanna. You may have already had credit, that kind of thing. I just didn't have any besides a student loan, and I didn't have enough. I didn't have anything, no credit cards, no anything. So I'm having to build all that. And like I said, my mindset was that I'm going in debt just to have some credit. I mean, it's how I always looked at it. Because getting a credit card, yes, some of them do have annual rates that you have to pay to keep that credit card. I'm like, okay, why would I go into debt trying to get credit? It just made no sense to me. But like I said, as I'm looking at it now, I do see how, of course, my credit score is increasing. Of course, I'm very, very proud of myself for at least getting it up that far. I guess it's at 627 as of yesterday. So I'm like I said, I'm definitely proud of myself for getting it up that far. But I'm just here to tell anybody out there, especially Deanna, anybody else on this video, and Terry, I'm sure can vouch for this as well, that there's no reason why you cannot go ahead and start getting your credit in order, especially if you're wanting to, of course, purchase homes, purchase cars, purchase property, going into real estate, or getting any kind of business credit, that kind of thing at all. Like I said, you definitely have to make sure that you are establishing some kind of credit. Like I said, back in the day, I used to hear folks talking about how they didn't get this house, or how they couldn't get a car, or putting like I said, utility bills in their kids' name because their bills has gotten cut off, and how they've messed up their credit and all these kind of things. Like I said, we definitely have to think about those things when we're moving into adulthood and moving on in our life. Now, if you're 70, 80, 90 years old, I'm sure you don't care about your credit at this point. I'm sure of that. So you don't have to worry about your credit. But for us, like me and Deanna, I'm sure Terry, that kind of thing. We have to worry about our credit, especially if we're looking to advance somewhere in life with the business, with real estate, or with the vehicle. Like I said, we definitely have to worry about our credit. So I hope this video helped somebody this morning. And Deanna, you said you want to buy a group home. That is awesome. What state are you in, Deanna? And I actually used to work for the state of Missouri for almost 8 years. And then I actually worked in a transitional housing home as well. So I guess you would say that transitional housing program, home teens and their kids. So what state are you in? I'm like, that's awesome. And what kind of group home are you all wanting to open? That's awesome as well. Are you all going to work with the homeless or foster kids or mental health? Or that is awesome. I'm like, man, awesome. That is awesome. Well, if you need some assistance, let me know. Like I said, I definitely know some of the ins and outs of that. Working in the social work field for over 20 years now, I work with like a lot of group homes and I'm placing kids at group homes and stuff like that, and also working in one for over 10, almost like 10 and a half years actually. So if you need some assistance, reach out to me so I can definitely give you some tips and pointers and stuff that I've noticed here in St. Louis. I can't speak for Wisconsin, but definitely here in St. Louis. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get my butt off this video this morning. Adult living for also, that should be awesome. Congratulations. I'm sure that's going to be awesome. So get that credit in order, girl. Lord have mercy. Like I said, if you need to reach out to me, just let me know. I'm not a credit counselor, that kind of thing. I just want to provide value to someone. So if you definitely need some, like I said, some advice on how to go back from what I've done, I guess getting your credit in order, just make sure that you reach out to me. It's not a problem. So with that, I want to say thank you all for tuning in this morning. Who else? Rachel, Catrice, Terry, author Janelle, Victory. Is it Victory? Deanna, I want to thank you all for tuning in this morning. I hope that somebody got some value from this video this morning that they can take on to, of course, implement in their own lives. I guess I put it that way. I did leave 4 great tips that you can use. I guess 2, like I said, build your credit, and 2, of course, know what your credit is and know how to get it increased and take care of it. So like I said, definitely go ahead and if you're coming on at the tail end, go back and listen to the replay and definitely enjoy y'all. And like I said, Deanna, if you need some assistance with that, just reach out to me and let me know. So everybody take care, y'all. Take care. Once again, I'm Tonetta, your relationship coach that speaks your truth. And of course, your bedroom candy boutique consultant. I want to say have a great day, y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.